Hello friends, are you a student of finance willing to learn basics of finance? So yes, the first simple thing that you need to understand is time value of money. Finance is all about money. You need to understand crystal clear the concepts of simple interest, compound interest. What happens when compounding happens more than once in a year? What is annuity? What is present value and future value of annuity? How loan repayment schedules are prepared by the bank, and ultimately concept of doubling of money, that is rule of 69 and rule of 72. So yes, I, Professor Rajesh Valeja, in our this session are going to explain the basics about the first part, which is simple interest, compound interest. If I ask you, which option would you prefer, having rupees 10,000 today or 10,000 say after 10 years? Obviously, every rational person would prefer rupees 10,000 today than in the future. It means there is time value in every monetary transaction. In general, people prefer present consumption than future consumption. In other words, people would like to spend today rather than purchasing something in the future. Second simple reason is, if you have money today, you can employ that productively to earn positive returns on that capital. That is, if I invest rupee 1, bank is giving me R%, which means I can have 1 plus R provided I invest. The third most logical reason is inflation. As we all know, inflation is a fall in the value of the money over a period of time. With every passing year, the value of money keeps on falling. And hence, third reason why people prefer present consumption than future consumption is inflation. So if you all have basics of finance, you know there are two types of interest: simple interest and compound interest. So what is simple interest? Interest which is paid on the original principal each time is known as simple interest. That is, principal amount remains constant. Accordingly, rate of interest remains constant, and each year the amount of interest paid remains same. That is the traditional concept which is known as simple interest. But under modern day finance, people prefer compound interest. What is compound interest? When interest is calculated each time on the initial principal and the accumulated interest. That is known as compound interest. In our day-to-day life, we say we get interest on interest. Yes, because interest accumulated on the principal amount becomes due for the next interest. So interest on interest is simple understanding of compound interest. And as we all know, simple interest remains same, it remains constant, it remains flat. So it is a linear graph. On the contrary, compound interest has an exponential growth. It keeps on growing year after year after year. And hence, A linear graph represents simple interest, whereas an exponential curve is a sign of compound interest. So in our school life, we all have studied simple interest. The basic formula for simple interest is P into N into R upon 100, where P is the original principal, N is always in number of years, and R is the rate of interest per annum. So P into N into R upon 100 is a simple formula of calculating simple interest. Let us take an example. Assume you are depositing rupees 1000 in an account which gives 7% simple interest for 2 years. So what is the interest and the accumulated amount at the end of 2 years? So P, principal, is 1000, N is 2 years, and R is 7%. So 1000 into 7%, 70 rupees is the interest for 1 year. So into 2, 140 rupees will be your simple interest for 2 years. So on maturity, what you get is your original principal plus the accumulated interest. So 1000 plus 140, 1140 is the aggregate amount after 2 years. Now let us understand compound interest. Concept formula of compound interest says A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the power n. A is accumulated value or maturity amount. P stands for principal or present value. I is the rate of interest, that is in decimals, which can also be written as R upon 100. And N stands for number of years. So A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the power n. Again, if we take up an example, I am depositing rupees 10,000 for 3 years at 20% interest per annum. Then maturity amount can be calculated as A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the power n. So 10,000 into 1 plus 20% is 0.2 to the power 3 years. Here I would request all my friends to have a calculator and follow my steps systematically so that you get a deep and better understanding of the concept. So if we take 10,000 into 1.2 into 1.2 into 1.2 3 times, then the accumulated value A is 10,000 into 1.728, which boils down to 17,280. Mind you, this is accumulated value. This is A, this is not interest. Out of 17,280, rupees 10,000 was your original investment. So compound interest is A minus P, amount minus principal. So 17,280 minus 10,000, that is 7,280. This is your compound interest. To have a deeper understanding of how compound interest works, let us understand this example step by step, because here is what needs to be understood to understand finance. Let us say 10,000 is invested on 1st January 2017. So first year 20% interest is 2000, which means at the end of first year your 10,000 has become 12,000. Second year the interest will be calculated 20% on revised amount, that is 12,000, not on 10,000, and hence 20% of 12,000 is 2,400. So the maturity value after 2 years becomes 14,400. Similarly, 20% of this amount is 2,880, and thus after 3 years the accumulated value becomes 17,280. This is the step by step calculation of interest year on year. So 17,280 is the final value. 10,000 was your principal amount. The difference between these two values is your total interest earned for 3 years, which is 7,280. To summarize our learnings about simple interest and compound interest, just have a reference to this table where I have assumed principal remains 1,000, rate of interest is 10%, and we are trying to understand this for 3 years. So this table shows step by step calculation of simple interest and compound interest for the given period of 3 years. As you can see, simple interest 10% on rupees 1,000 is 100 in the first year, 100 in the second year, and 100 for the third year. This is what we have learned. Simple interest remains constant because it is calculated on the original amount each year. So 10% of 1,000, 100, 100, 100 remains constant. So maturity value after 3 years is 1,300 in case of simple interest. In case of compound interest, 10% of 1,000 is 100 for the first year. Now this 1,100 will fetch you interest for the second year. So second year you calculate 10%, lekin on 1,100. That gives you 110. So my amount becomes 1,210. Third year, 10% of 1,210 will give me 121. And thus, after 3 years, the amount becomes 1,331. See the difference between the two amounts. Simple interest is giving you 1,300, whereas compound interest is giving you 1,331. Because compound interest is always greater than simple interest on the same rate. Accordingly, interest earned is 300 in case of simple interest and 331 in case of compound interest. Friends, this is the most simple yet the most important explanation for understanding basics of simple interest and compound interest. Now comes the most important aspect. How do you interpret or understand concepts of compounding and discounting? So here we can see two aspects. If we know the present value and we want to calculate the future value. Let us say if I am depositing rupees 1 lakh in a bank today and I want to calculate maturity value after 5 years, which means I want to calculate future value. Here we use concept of compounding, and compounding means multiplication. On the contrary, if you want to receive rupees 5 lakhs from a person after 3 years, if you request him to pay the amount today, he will not make a payment of entire amount of 5 lakhs, but he will consider a discounting component. In other words, he will make a payment of, let us say, 4,70,000. Instead of 5 lakhs, he is making a payment of 4,70,000, which means 30,000 becomes discount. That is time value. That is known as discounting. So, from present to future is known as compounding. From future, if you want to calculate the present value, this is known as discounting. In the earlier example that we had seen, let us understand it step by step. Again, I would request you to calculate yourself using a calculator. Take a pause, but definitely calculate it so that you understand the procedure. So 10,000 was our initial amount. 1 plus I, that is our compounding factor. Here I was 20%. So 1 plus 0.2 gives 1.2. So first year it is 10,000 into 1.2, which gives 12,000. Again into 1.2. Same 12,000. If you multiply by 1.2, it gives you 14,400. Again into 1.2. When you multiply for the third time, what you get is 17,280. And this is what was our maturity value. As per the formula, A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the power n. Our formula also gave us this answer of 17,280. So friends, did you observe? Every time you multiply by 1.2, it gives you the amount for the next year. And that is what I said. Compounding means multiplication. Every time you multiply by 1.2, you get the amount for the next year. This process is known as compounding. Now what happens when compounding is done more than once in a year? You must have read many documents saying bank loan at the rate 8% and conditions apply, star mark. And when you read that star mark, it says compounding is on quarterly basis. Not many people pay attention to this. But friends, it has a deep impact on our pockets on the amount of interest. Let us understand what is this process. So again, using a table, let me explain you what happens to interest if it is annual, if it is semi-annual, that is half yearly. What happens when it is quarterly, that is 4 times in a year. So here I have assumed a principal of rupees 10,000 calculated for 1 year, and rate of interest is assumed to be 12% per annum. So if I am depositing rupees 10,000 in January and interest is annual, which means I will get my first interest in December. 12% of 10,000 is 1200, which means maturity amount is 11,200. If 12% is semi-annual, semi-annual means half yearly, 2 times in a year. So if I am getting 12% for 1 year, for half year it will be half, which means 6%. So 6% is what I will get on 10,000 after 6 months. So in the month of June, 10,000 into 6%, I will get 600. So my amount becomes 10,600. Now the second interest which I get, again 6%, but on 10,600. So 6% of 10,600 gives me 636, which is 36 rupees greater than my previous interest, which is why we say interest on interest. So if you observe, I am getting 6% extra on 600 rupees. 600 into 6%, 6 6 are 36. So I am getting 36 rupees extra, and accordingly maturity amount becomes 11,236. If interest is compounded on quarterly basis, January, February, March, my first quarter, April, May, June, second quarter, and so on. So 12% is for full year, which means quarterly will be divided by 4, which means 3%. So 10,000 into 3%, 300 is my interest. So the amount becomes 10,300. Second time I get interest 3% on this figure, 10,300, which is 309. So my amount becomes 10,609. Similarly, add 3%, you get 10,927.27. Again, add 3% on this amount, you get 11,255.09. I repeat, just now we understood compounding is multiplying. So simple, 10,000 into 1.03, again into 1.03, into 1.03, into 1.03, 4 times. The amount becomes 11,255.09. If you observe, friends, under each case the maturity amount has increased. In the first case it was 11,200. In the second case it becomes 11,236. And in this quarterly case it is 11,255. Obviously, if it is on monthly basis, interest will be compounded every month. which means 12 times in a year, definitely the amount will be much bigger than this. So this was what happens logically when compounding is done more than once in a year. But every time we cannot calculate this in a table format. So better we need to understand what are the changes in the formula. Earlier the formula was A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the power n. The formula of compounding remains same. But there is a minor adjustment in terms of F, that is frequency of compounding. So I, which means rate of interest, should be divided by F, that is frequency of compounding. Simple. Just now we saw 12% per annum. So half yearly was 12 upon 2, 6%. Quarterly it was 12 upon 4, which means 3%. In other words, I, rate of interest, should be divided by F, frequency, and N should be multiplied by F. Number of installments will increase. The frequency of compounding will increase the number of installments. And accordingly our modified formula will be A is equal to P into 1 plus I upon F to the power n into F. So the same examples that we did right now, if we apply the formula for semi-annual, it is 10,000 into 1 plus 0.12 divided by 2. 1 year into 2 installments. So 12 upon 2, it will become 6%, but installments will become double, 1 into 2. So it is 10,000 into 1.06 to the power 2. So when you multiply 2 times, the amount becomes 11,236, which was exactly what we had observed in our logical method. That is our tabular method. Finally, if we compound it on quarterly basis, which means 4 times, it will be 10,000 into 1 plus 0.12 divided by 4 to the power 1 year into 4 installments. So it is 1.03 multiplied 4 times. That comes to 11,255.09. So this is how we have understood this concept using a tabular method, the logical step-by-step process vis-a-vis the formula method. Now friends, if I ask you which one is better, compounding once in a year or when compounding is done on say quarterly basis? Definitely under quarterly basis the interest is greater, but we also need to see are we on the receiving end or are we on the paying end. If we are receiving amount from someone, if we are receiving interest from someone, then compounding multiple times is better. But if we are borrowing a loan from bank, 8% per annum, star mark, and it says compounding on monthly basis, which means we will pay interest far more than under annual compounding. And hence, no doubt compounding increases the amount of interest, but always try to see whether you are receiving or whether you are going to make a payment and accordingly finalize the deal. Just to summarize our concept, I have taken up one more example. Here principal is 10,000, rate of interest is 12%, period now is 2 years. So in the first case, annual compounding, 10,000 into 1 plus 0.12 to the power 2 years. That is 10,000 into 1.12 into 1.12, 2 times. Maturity amount is 12,544. In case of semi-annual or half-yearly, frequency will be 2. So 10,000 into 1 plus 0.12 divided by 2. 2 years into 2 installments. So 2 into 2, our power becomes 4. So it is 1.06 multiplied 4 times. This gives 12,625. When it is quarterly, it will be divided by 4. 2 years into 4 installments, which means total 8 installments or 8 times compounding. So 10,000 into 1.03 into 1.03, 8 times. Amount is 12,668. Finally, if it is on monthly basis, 12% divided by 12 times, which means interest is 1% every time, each time. 2 years into 12 installments. So 2 into 12, 24 installments. So if you multiply 10,000 into 1.01 into 1.01, 24 times, your total maturity amount is 12,697. So friends, as a person of finance, everyone should have crystal clear idea about simple interest, compound interest, and its working when it is compounded multiple times in the year. So here we come to the end of this first part, which talks about simple interest and compound interest. Our second unit will talk about annuities, that is both present value of annuity and future value of annuity. Hope you enjoyed this particular session and your concepts are crystal clear. Do like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thanks a lot.